What is up, my friends? We are back for a match reaction after Liverpool and Chelsea draw 1-1 at Anfield. A great goal from Ryan Gravenberch put Liverpool into the lead, but as always the case, we can't keep it. And the match ended with a lot of frustrated Liverpool fans departing in the sunshine to a chorus of boos as yet again Arne Slot's men deliver a subpar home performance. We're going to run you through the numbers for the game. As always, we want to know your thoughts on it, so do let us know in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, really would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, and welcome to the channel. Look, before I get stuck into the chat, I guess I want to give you my take on the game. Was lulled into maybe a false sense of positivity when Ryan opened the scoring, and it looked like maybe we had a bit of swagger back. Maybe we're going to go to build on that. But as has been the case this season many times, unfortunately, that isn't how this quite worked out. As the game went on, Chelsea were getting stronger and stronger. And I remind people that that's a Chelsea team that had scored one goal in 9.5 hours of Premier League football. A Chelsea team that were on a horrendous run. A Chelsea team that were beaten by Nottingham Forest B team. But again, they were still able to come to Anfield and get a point. And that tells you where we are at under Arne. I don't know what more the Brain Trust need to see, or FSG need to see or hear. But we will stumble over the line to Champions League football, likely in 5th place as things are right now, which, as somebody pointed out earlier on, will have a knock-on effect as well to other teams who may not get Champions League football. But look, selfishly, from our side of it, where do you take the positives from this? How do you go into the summer with any type of optimism that this is going to be figured out? As I've said many times, my friends, we've gone through an entire season with no signs of this getting better at any point. It's another set-piece goal conceded again today, our 18th one of the season. And it's just, match clock's on there, folks, my apologies. 18th one of the season. It's not good enough. And it's not going to be under Arne. So I have nothing really else to add from my side other than this is where we're at. This is how it's going to be going forward. He can't inspire the players. He can't put out a cohesive team. His game plan is garbage. His substitutions make no sense. And everyone's just fed up and tired. We're tired of being emotionally, financially invested in this with that same investment not coming back from the players and the coaching staff. It's just not good enough. Right. Keeping Frimpong and subbing off Rio is criminal. It's just brain dead. It really is. Like, you've got a youngster who's played limited football this season, getting taken off, and Frimpong being kept on, but he was ineffective the entire game. There was an easy substitution there. Get Frimpong off, put Isak on, move Gakpo to the left, put Rio to the right. Straightforward. But of course, that's not what he does. And as extra time or additional time came up, we very rarely even left our half. If anybody was going to go on and win that game, it was definitely looking like it was going to be Chelsea. I don't know what else to say, folks. It's the same frustrations every week. It's the same despair every week. And there is no end in sight at this point. At least our manager always has a good tan. Yeah, that there is that. You know, always has a good tan. Always loves a bit of navy on the sidelines as well. It's just not the job for him. Now, I got to ask you, what was the crowd reaction at the end of the game? Because I'd seen people in the chat say there was a mix of boos or whatever. Let me know. How did Liverpool fans react to that? Or should I say the ones that actually stayed till the end? Because could you blame them leaving that stadium early, as they'd all again seen another abject subpar performance? Look at the numbers again. It's crazy. You know, Chelsea had more possession at our gaff. And Arne calls himself a possession-based manager. More possession. Both had 3 shots on target. It's just pathetic. We're so bad. Hey, Hughes and Edwards, did you watch that pile of shite? Said Stevie Boy. What has Gakpo got on Slot? Absolute joke. He was so ineffective again today, Shane. Look, even when Isak comes on, what did he do? What did he even look like he nearly did? There's nothing in this to build on. Nothing. There isn't even small things that you can try to get excited or be upbeat about. It's just the same shit every week. Aaron said Slot was tactical stalemated by a man who pulled out of the pub last night. Yeah, again, Chelsea are on their 700th manager of the season, and they're still able to put together a better performance than us. Ian said, Craig, I have no hope for next weekend. Like most players out of position, and subbing off Rio was by far the worst. Gakpo has the touch of a walrus and not subs Rio. And slot subs Rio, excuse me. Yeah, it was just stupid. It just really was a brain dead substitution that made no sense. Hamoudi said, Swedish news now. Chelsea contacted Alonso. Well, we reported that during the week. But look, you can't, if you're Alonso, what do? You can't just wait around forever and hope that Liverpool finally see some sense and sack the fraud. So he has to look to his future as well. But this is why it's all the more grating to us that there is a fan-friendly, ready-made replacement there, but the two fucking dweebs that run the football club won't admit their mistake and keep briefing their friendly journalists that they're fully behind the manager, despite fans booing, leaving the stadium, and the fan base having absolutely no optimism. The two dweebs get to carry on just damaging the club. Zoshi said, why do Liverpool make teams out of form look good? It's really easy, because we're not very good. They don't even have to work hard. Again, another lead, another thrown away lead. We never even looked likely to make that game turn around. I don't know what else to say. It's just embarrassing at this point. And the players should be equally as embarrassed. Mugged spuds for their job. We're the doctor now. I don't know what any of that means, but Frimpong can't cross and it pisses me off. I don't know what he does offer on right wing, because he's not even taking on men and going around them. Again, that's a signing that I never understood, and I explained my reasoning when we signed him, and I think it's proven to be the case. Because he plays right wing back, we don't play with a right wing back, and the manager won't play him at right back. Instead, he played Curtis Jones at right back and tries to play Curtis Jones like he's Trent as an inverted player. It's so stupid. You'd almost have to laugh. AP, thank you, mate. Appreciate you. Luca Phillips said, so many boos, genuinely cannot stomach seeing that man on the touchline. After his comments last night, I expected a little more than we've seen today. So this is the manager, though, Lucas, that said that we were at our level in the Champions League this season. Sometimes it feels like they're trying to bait us into being angry. Like, how can you say being beaten by Galatasaray twice and PSV showed our level? Unless he thinks that is our level, I don't know. The Bumbadog said, can you imagine how bad training has to be for this to be the game product week by week? I'm surprised it's not a full exodus this summer. And the players are surprised that we have issues with them having little city breaks and posting their little selfies and stuff. It's because they don't give a fuck. Nobody looks like they give a shit out there. Nobody. All the pouting and talking in the dressing room and Szoboszlai and Virgil talking about all the meetings they have, it's all just empty. All of it is fucking empty. Because Saturday comes around and yet again they're nowhere to be found. Yet again there isn't a performance out of them. But they'll pout and they'll talk about standards and they'll say all the stupid shit that they've been saying all season that means nothing. Chelsea has been so poor for ages, said Lucky. Yeah, but it's alright, mate. We make teams look good. Anfield, that used to be a fortress, is now a laughingstock. Hayden said, feel like crying. Slot needs to go. It's woeful. This feels like a defeat today. Morally, it just feels like a defeat. Craig, I'm done with this clown. I haven't seen a manager look so clueless. He's overseeing some of the worst football in Liverpool history. Exactly. And again, the people that are supposed to be in charge of this are allowing it to happen every week without any admittance of their faults, his faults, or any type of bright future for us fans to look ahead to. So I don't know if anybody listened to the podcast that we did the other day, but Chris joked and said, we should win this game 5-0 because Chelsea are shit, but watch it end up being 1-1. And Chris was at the game today and he's spot on again because yes, we should have destroyed them, but we came out in a 1-1 draw, probably lucky to get the draw. It's embarrassing. Seems toxic at Anfield, said Itachi. It's because it is, and it will be, and it will continue to be. It'll continue to be until he's gone. Because there is no goodwill left for this man. None. You know, the best people have is he won the league, give him half of next season. Why? So I can be proved right again, so everybody else can be proved right again, and we write another season off? Just do your jobs. FSG, you say you don't settle for mediocrity. Well, you're dishing it up every week. Do the right thing. Act like you care. Relieve him of his duties, because whatever spoofery he gave you to give him the job, whatever data that those two fucking clowns were looking at, I don't know what they seen, because this is slot. This is slot with full control, his players, and this is what we're being served up week after week. What really rub it in is the journalists gaslighting us about backing Arner like nothing happened today. Look, I've said it for years, mate. They aren't journalists. They aren't journalists. They're imposters, cowards, yes men, lackeys. Because how can you defend that? How? How, as a journalist that covers the club, how can you defend that? How has it taken some of them to this point to even start to admit that it's not good enough? Do your jobs, lads. Grow a pair. What ownership would you replace FSG with? I don't know, but it's not my job to do that. And to be fair, I haven't said that FSG should sell. I said if they don't care, they can fuck off. But it's not up to me to find owners or a manager. I'm a fan. If you want to pay me the rumoured 12 to 17 million pound Edwards is getting, I'll do what he's doing. I'll run around Europe looking at clubs that nobody wants to buy. I'll run the rule over data and pretend I know what I'm looking at, because I couldn't make any worse decisions than those fucking idiots. Moments FC, that's what we are, said John. Yep. When you start Gakpo, play 4 players at a position and sub off your most effective attacker, you don't deserve a win. Slot out. Anfield is a free grab. He's got to go, said Alex Mack. Look, we can run through all the numbers we've talked about all season. That was our 18th set-piece goal conceded. Another game at home we haven't won. Still haven't beaten a team away from home in the top half of the Premier League. That's now 5 goals in the first half of the last 20 games. Yeah, here we are. The manager that's a possession-based manager has just had less possession at home, but, you know, will that be brought up? He's lost the players, the fans. What's FSG up to? Exactly, mate. Look, you're right. Of course you're right. You know, and not only should Slot be fired, Edwards and Hughes should be fired as well. Because if they think this is okay, and they've been briefing FSG that they still believe in him, they all deserve to be fired. We should clear house this summer. Because if we're going to start a proper rebuild, if that's what we're going to have to do, then please don't let these fucking idiots do it. Because they're destroying the club. They're destroying our love of what we're seeing. And then not only that, they're gaslighting us. Because they're cowards who brief their mates who are journalists with bullshit stories of hypothetical support for a manager that isn't there. Cowards. Hiding in the shadows, yet again. Dictating the future of this football club. I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of playing nice guy. We need to call it out. Do your fucking jobs. It's not that hard to ask. It's what you're paid millions of pounds a year for. To make footballing decisions. Sitting on your hands and being a pussy is not making decisions. How on earth is Slot's style of play the closest to Klopp's? Where's the data that proves that? I've waited the entire season to see it. Exactly. Where is it, Mario? I don't think you're on your own, bro. All of us are asking, where are the similarities? Where the fuck are they? Because they weren't there for half the title winning season and they haven't been there for the whole of this season. Where's the data that showed that Isak and Ekitike were almost mirrors of each other, which is what they said? These lads get brown-nosed and rimmed so much that people actually are convinced they are geniuses. Geniuses don't do that. I'm a moron, and I could put this team together better. Slot is a clueless, soulless. He's not the right man for the job. He doesn't get this club. He doesn't get the fans. He doesn't get us. Doesn't get the culture. Doesn't get any of it. He's devoid of any type of fucking emotion. He's just a robot on the sideline. A robot that I am delusion bot. I talk shit. I waffle. Look at me go. This team is shit. I seen some good and some bad. Did you? I seen bad, and lots more bad. Bad. But it's all right though, because Mr. fucking Hawaiian Tropic will have a lovely summer, I'm sure. Maybe he's meeting up with his good old mate Wayne Lineker for a few Chardonnays and a little bit of Dubai sun. I don't know, but he can fuck off and stay in Hawaiian Tropic land. I'm sick of him. Shithouse move taking Rio off. It is. You're right, John. And Anfield let him know what they thought of that. Walking out of Anfield, and this is killing me, said Malty. I've got 4 messages in my inbox so far from people who've been at the game today, and one from a fan that's on holidays that's messaged me already to say, I'm done with this. Bring on Isak and take off Rio. I mean, that's my inbox for messages already. The Truckers here said Bundesliga must be shite. Players look great there and shite here. Man U proved that a Dutch manager in your Premier League team doesn't work. So we, or a Dutch mass in your Premier League team doesn't work. So we do it. Slot subs are dire. Crowd boos were just outside noise though. Yeah, got to block out that outside noise. Even when the outside noise is your own fans. The levels of delusion in this group are ridiculous. They think if they stand in front of the camera, pout a little bit and talk about team meetings and standards and say the word standard a few more times, that somehow it has credibility. They're just words. It's like a toddler standing in front of you telling you they're sorry for something they've done 500 times and will do another 500 times. Like, words are just empty. Frimpong is Florian Wirtz's integration project, but it's a £30 million headache at this point. You know, I'm fed up of seeing midfielders playing at right back. It's ridiculous. 450 million and still players playing out of position. What keeper would you replace Alisson with? There's a young Irish fella at Brentford who's pretty good. What keeper would I replace him with? I don't know. That's the God's honest truth. I don't know. Because I didn't think we'd be in the goalkeeping shopping department, so I've done no research on it. And that's the God's honest truth. I don't know. I wouldn't let Alisson go for one more year because I don't think we're ready to let him go. I don't think we can afford to change that position again this summer. Not with Salah going, not with Robertson going, not with maybe Jones going. I just don't think we can afford a brain drain like that again. Camel Deep said, hurts to say it, but I can't watch anymore. Get him out now. I get it, my man. I get it. And I really do sympathise with you and all my fellow Liverpool fans. You know, it's either the way Liverpool fans are right now, it's either despair or just we're numb at this point. Because I'm kind of out of anger. I don't think I have much anger left in me because I'm not emotionally invested in it anymore. I'm just going through the motions till we get to the end of the season and hope that they eventually see what millions and millions of Liverpool fans around the world see, which is that he is not a Liverpool manager. He cannot play football the way we need to play it. He does not know what he's doing. He can't inspire the players. The fans aren't behind him. His tactics, his substitutions, all of it is suspect. David Lynch said, Liverpool may be desperate to stick with Arne Slot, but that stance won't withstand the Anfield crowd turning against them. Today felt like that these fans are just sick of watching a passive, toothless brand of football that they've seen for over a year now. And Mr. Lynch isn't wrong. He's not wrong. Liverpool fans are sick of it. and you can't fool them. You know, we know when people are invested in it. We know. You can tell by the effort, the work rate. And he's right. Liverpool fans are not going to. But I guess I'd have a question inside David's post, which I agree with. But my question would be, why are they so desperate? That's the part I can't get. Like, he's not wrong in what he said, David Lynch. It does seem like Liverpool are desperate to keep him. But why? Is it just hubris? Like, admitting you made a mistake is okay. But it becomes more egregious when you're not even admitting that. You know, when you're trying to tell us that it's okay, despite all the evidence, that becomes really fucking angering for Liverpool fans and really triggering. Barry on X said 0 wins from home games against Ambrams United, Tudor Spurs, and now McFarlane's Chelsea. Yep. What's this Connor said? Lewis Steele said, Spurs came to Anfield in March on a run of 6 straight defeats and in crisis. Chelsea came here today the exact same, 6 defeats and in free fall. Dr. Arne Slot's Liverpool were the perfect remedy for both. With deserved points, this season keeps plunging to new depths. Look, I'm going to say it now. They won't keep him. He's going to be fired. I'm going to say it now. The tide's turning. Even journalists that have been reticent to be overly critical are now having enough. I'm going to make that prediction right now. I'm telling that Liverpool sack him this summer. I'm convinced of it now because it's gone too far. They keep trying to tell us it's okay. They keep trying to tell us to be patient. Everybody's had enough. At this point, I don't see how they don't sack him. I don't see how they can even get the buy-in from fans. They have to sack him. So I'm convinced now he's gone. Maybe I'm deluding myself here. Maybe I'm more hopeful. But that's it. In my head now, he's gone. He's gone. There's no way back. There's no winning us back around. There isn't any goodwill left. He's gone. If he had that about him, if he was a fucking decent fella, he'd put his hands up and say, it's been a failure this year. I'm not good enough. It isn't good enough. But he won't do that because of his own fucking arrogance that we've seen all season. His own lies about what we're seeing, the performances, what he's happy with. It's all just bullshit because he knows this is shit. This isn't PSG. This isn't Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. This is Arne Slot's monotonous bull shite. And it isn't getting better. He's wasted a season. He's wasted great players. And he's ruined the morale of the football club in one 12-month period. That takes some fucking doing. From winning a league title to having Liverpool fans in unison wanting you gone inside a year. Honestly, if the journalist could write one thing, just do that. It takes an awful lot to take all that goodwill and optimism and crush it in one season, let alone to have people turning on the manager. That tells you how far Liverpool fans have seen this team fall in one season. Red Nick said, individual brilliance or gifts from opposition. Yep, that's spot on. Moments FC. Myself and Adam from FUTV, myself and Adam used to joke about this with United. When United were shit, I used to have a bit of banter with Adam and he used to message me saying, mate, we're just Moments FC. And I agreed with him, and I dare say if I messaged Adam right now and said, mate, we're Moments FC, I'm sure Adam would agree with me on that one. Because we are. It's just that or chaos at the end where he just hopes for a late winner. There's no pattern to this. There's no game plan. It's just shit. And it's so uninspiring and so un-Liverpool-like. So just admit that the data-led search has been a fucking disgrace. Admit that these lads are spoofing it. And get him out. And if Hughes and Edwards keep their jobs, they should consider themselves lucky. Because they should be gone as well. FSG should clear house here. Because they have set this club back from a position of strength to this. Arkwolf said, went to the pub to watch the game. Crap, pathetic. Bradley being badly missed. He has to go. Yeah, look, unfortunately on the Conor Bradley thing, I agree. He's badly missed, definitely. But we're never going to get a season without him getting injured, it looks like. So definitely have a big decision to make at right back, which is sad because I'm a big Conor Bradley fan. I think he's brilliant, but you got to have durability to play in the Premier League, and unfortunately that doesn't seem to be where his body's at right now. He'll get until Christmas because we won the Premier League, but that's just garbage. Like Hamoudi, I'm not having a go at you, dude, sorry, but it is just garbage. He doesn't deserve to get to Christmas because he got away with more than any other manager would have got away with this year. 18 defeats in a year. 18 at Liverpool with 450 million spent as defending champions. Like, the fact that he survived past this Christmas is too generous for me. But, you know, we'll talk about standards the Liverpool way and then we'll do nothing about it. But I'm convinced now he's gone. I'm convinced he's gone. There's no way anybody can back this from the club side. There's no way. Mateus said this season we couldn't beat Amram's United, Tudor Spurs, and McFarlane's Chelsea. Addition some humiliations in the Cups and Champions League. Yeah, beaten 4-1 at Anfield by PSV Eindhoven. If them even getting a draw at Anfield should be a disgrace. But to come and beat us 4-1? Embarrassing. Nessie said we would be third or even in the cup final if they had the passion to sack slot in October at the Love and Harmony ruined by three men with zero accountability. Yep, who are all being paid millions, Nessie, millions, to oversee this tripe. And haven't even got the balls to stand in front of a camera and address it. Multi-millionaire pussies, that's what they are. ESG Soccer said, we're so unbelievably soft. Mo is obviously right. The standards are in the bin. This is the worst team I've watched. Worse because quality is high. Exactly that. They're not bad players. They're just players that aren't being inspired or well coached. United fan, if Slot was gone, most likely have got third. And look, we may have even put up a better fist of it in the Cups. You know, he threw away the League Cup. And again, people were okay with that. I wasn't. Yeah, we could finish 5th at this point. Lolly said, we got the power. Fans should shout every man slot out for 1 minute or when the opponent has the ball. It's a tough one now, Lolly, for the fans because last game of the season is obviously the goodbye to Mohamed Salah, goodbye to Andy Robertson, and nobody wants that to be a toxic occasion. But they're pushing fans right to the edge. They really are. And it isn't going to get better. The atmosphere is going to be terrible. Those expensive hospitality seats aren't going to be getting sold. And like I've said, I and others that I know are just not going to spend a penny until they show us that they care. Because this is unacceptable. Mohammed said, what sort of magic possesses Slot not to see what the majority of fans are seeing every time? Surely he can, but he's just too stubborn. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to say anymore because it feels like we've had these same conversations for months and we're all just exhausted. I'm convinced the club are trying to bait us, said Rocco. This is what happens, Rocco, when you don't have any accountability. When you've got people who can manipulate the media, who can push an agenda that isn't reality, and try to convince all of us that what we're seeing isn't right. Like I've said, I've asked and sat here as a Liverpool fan and said, what are you seeing that we're not seeing? Where's the data? Ryan Gravenberch on the boos from the fans said, to be honest, we need them behind us. We don't win, but I think they really deserve this, you know. I don't think we really deserve this, you know. Fans have been behind us for 90 minutes. When they were behind us in the second half, we pressed, so we needed. Hopefully the next few games we won't do this anymore. Look, fuck off, Ryan. Just fuck off with your fucking nonsense. Fans who pay their hard-earned money to watch players stroll about on a pitch like headless chickens, getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, And you don't think they have a right to be displeased at a team that won the Premier League, falling down to 4th place and being out of all competitions, and you want them behind you? Well, give them something to get behind. Show you give a shit. You're a laughing stock. You should have been booed a long time ago. To come back and harp back at fans is fucking pathetic. Show you give a shit on the pitch. Give fans something to get behind. And stop pouting like pussies because you've had smoke blown up your arse for the last 12 months and you feel you're invincible. You have to earn the fucking right to wear that badge. You have to earn the right to get that support. It doesn't come. It isn't just a we'll come in and support any old shit. Show you care. Put the effort in. Show those hard-working fans that pay their money every week to go to that stadium that you care. And stop with this fucking holier-than-thou bullshit. You fucking pussy. Absolute nonsense. Fucking cowards, the lot of them. They don't know how to take criticism because they've had smoke blown up their arse their entire careers and everyone tripping over themselves to tell them they're great. You're not great. You're shite at the minute. Take it, own it, and be better. Or fuck off. Simple as. 270 grand a week and you're going around pouting because of a few boos. Fuck you. Be better or fuck off. Simple as. Fucking gobshites. Pack your bags and fuck off if you don't want to be here, Gravenberch. Because I tell you what, we're wondering what that 270 grand a week is going for. And if you can't understand why fans are booing that, you're part of the problem. Fucking petulant little bitch. Fuck right off. Spurs from form visiting Anfield was 5 losses on the spin. Chelsea was 6 losses on the spin. Over to you, Craig, for analysis. Love you, mate. I'm getting sick of these fucking cowards and their fucking misery. Dom going around giving a blue steel every 5 minutes. Virgil giving it I'm a little teapot in the 6-yard box. And Gravenberch crying because the fans are booing. Boo fucking who? They're booing because you're trash. They're booing because you're garbage. They're booing because it looks like you don't give a fuck. Put me in that dressing room with these lads. Because I don't know what they're being told. But whatever nonsense they're being filled with, they need a dose of reality. You don't deserve support because you're not given anything. You're taking your wages and you're running around like headless chickens. You gave up your league title without a fight. You're using every fucking excuse under the sun, including someone's untimely passing. Fuck you. Fuck your moaning. Get out there and play or pack your bags and fuck off somewhere else. You've already failed at 2 clubs. Fuck off if you don't want to be here. Fucking gobshite. I won't write a single player off until Slot is gone. We can't know what we have until they're set up to succeed. If they still fail, then we'll know. I'm done with them. I'm done with them. Fucking prima donna pampered arseholes. Don't boo us. Don't boo us. We're millionaires. Praise us. Praise us. That honestly, that's done my nut in. You maybe ask yourself why you're getting booed, right? Maybe just for 1 fucking second, step outside your little bubble and ask yourself, why are fans booing us? Why are fans fed up of it? Maybe then look within. Look into that dressing room. Look around to your left, look to your right, look around all them players and ask, have you done enough? Have you given everything? The answer is no. Categorically fucking no. Pampered arseholes. Lost the results, dressing room, and now the fans. Yeah, gobshites. Fucking idiots. I'm done. Honestly, somebody needs to get into that dressing room and tell these lads the fucking truth. Because this pussyfooting around pampering them nonsense needs to stop. Fucking arrogant, entitled arseholes. Imagine strolling around for a whole season, getting whooped at home by Eindhoven, getting beaten twice by Galatasaray, getting beaten twice by PSG, getting beaten twice by United, twice by Palace, 3 times by Manchester City, losing 18 games, scoring 5 goals in the first half of 20, conceding 18 from set pieces, and think that you can fucking pout about getting booed? You fucking clueless clown. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. That is a level of delusion that I don't want any part of. Fucking nonsense. We all know the reason FSG picked Slot. Money, said AMC. This shows how bad a season Slot's had. The player that was meant to join Liverpool, Gay, has beat us 4 times this season. Yep, and has a League Cup, maybe an FA Cup. Look, I'm just sick of this shit. I've been on one since Virgil said they're blocking out the outside noise. No, listen to it, mate. Listen to it. Because anything that you're hearing is deserved. Fans' frustration is understandable. This is just pathetic from this group. No accountability. No fucking shame. It's just embarrassing. I completely agree with you. But I think Slot is harming Frimpong's time here. And he'll be good for us. Again, I've no issues with Jeremy Frimpong being signed. The only confusion I had was, where does he play in our team? You know, because he isn't really a right back. He defo wasn't a right winger. And the only, the best position for him is one that we don't naturally play. So, that's the only, he seems like a lovely lad. And if we played with a wing back role, I think he'd be much more suited to it. So I do agree with you on that one. But again, you got to ask, why the recruitment? What did they see that they thought, other than a player that could maybe play in 2 or 3 positions, that was on a reasonable fee? It doesn't feel like we went out there to sign the best right back or right winger. It feels like we got somebody that's multifaceted and can cover us in a few areas. And that's kind of been the problem this year. Imagine writing a 6-month thesis on this fraud. Look, I'm just so wound up by the players at this point. The absolute entitlement of some of those players has rocked me to my core. It's shocking. We've had Dom moaning about it. Now we've got Gravenberch moaning about it. We've had Virgil moaning about it. But there's not an ounce of self-awareness. Fans are not robots. Fans don't go into a ground and just sing and support you when they see shit. That isn't how it works. This isn't the Bundesliga where there's just this monotonous sound for the entire game. Liverpool fans and Liverpool atmosphere is special because it needs to be fed. We need something to react to that we see on the pitch. And being bullied and bitch slapped around midfield one week after another ain't going to cut the mustard. It ain't going to get fans excited. It ain't going to get buy-in. And when you have teams coming to Anfield who haven't got a point in months and rock up and get one from us, it's pretty fucking grating. It's pretty frustrating to watch. And then to see players, multi-millionaires, pouting because they can't take truth. They can't take understandable criticism. That is pathetic. Slot laughing in his post-match interview. Disgrace, said Bradley Warren. Great to see the high standards on the pitch and not just in the gym, said Luke. Slot's passive pool FC, shocking football results business, and I can't even watch him, never mind listening to his garbage. Sack this fraud, said the Hawk. Hamoudi said, maybe because of Jota and the new players, the board wants to give him time. The Jota thing is, look, I find the Jota thing very cowardly. The conversation drifted from, let's have a memorable season, to honour Diogo Jota's passing, to now it's a ready-made excuse for failure. Maka already came out and said it wasn't an excuse, and he's in the dressing room. So whatever the owners want to give him, I'm sorry, but we all lose people in our lives. But we still have to go and do our jobs. And these guys have far more comforts and access to support than most normal people have. Most normal people, when they lose a friend or a loved one, don't have teams of psychiatrists and grievance counsellors at their beck and call. Don't have a group of players around them to be their support network, and still have to get on with their lives, still have to get up in the morning, still have to put food on the table for their families. So I'm sorry, that's not right. And any excuse making is just that. It is excuse making at the end of the day. It's so simple to fix. It's so passive. As if taking Rio off for Isak wasn't enough. Just a few minutes left and we end up bringing Chiesa on. How can we think we need Chiesa for Rio for the last 20? It's madness. Like, Frimpong did nothing the entire game on the right wing. And he takes off Rio, who's not like he's burnt out and played a load of football. It just makes no sense. And again, did it kick us on? Did it improve us? And again, that's it. None of his changes are doing that to benefit us. Changes aren't impacting games in a positive way. Mr. Asantino said, as a teacher, Slot was the substitute teacher that covered for the last couple of months, did okay and then got hired full-time and failed terribly. Red Jaden said, 1 point out of 18 against Man City, Man United and Chelsea this season. And let me say this, by the way. I apologise for nothing that I said there. Nothing. Not one fucking syllable of it. Every single bit of that is what these lads need to hear. And if they aren't able to stand up and take that, then off you go. This ain't the club for you. This isn't a fan base for you. You don't get to serve up that shit and get sympathy every week. I'm sorry. You need to hear some harsh realities. You need to hear some truths. Because clearly the manager ain't doing it. The club are bending over backwards to blow smoke up your arse. Fans aren't going to be fooled. Fans know what we expect, and fans know what it means to wear that shirt. And that type of garbage, being outfought at home, ain't going to cut it. The crazy thing, this point actually might get us Champions League football, which I know the board will be happy with. But how anybody at Liverpool can be happy, I don't know. You know, if Villa win their game, we're back to 5th. You know, and I agree. I think we will get Champions League football. But falling over the line. So here's Arna talking about the boos. I don't think it was some of them. There were a lot that didn't agree with the change, which is completely understandable. He was having problems with his muscles. And when I asked him, he said he was not sure he could continue. I knew this would be the reaction because he's such a good player. So often in football, people don't know everything. I'm the manager and I need to make decisions, knowing why I make it make sense for people. Look, fair enough if he had to take him off because of muscle injury. Fair enough. Maybe he has a point on that part. But it still doesn't excuse what you've dished up this season. It still doesn't excuse another under-par performance. And it still doesn't make things better. So rather than, again, trying to be snide at fans, Arna, maybe just understand that you're not good enough. Maybe just understand that. Joshua said he needs to go. He's out of his depth. The fans that are slot in are just casuals because they can't come to that conclusion watching every game. Even Klopp's kids still embody this style of play. There's still, look, there is always going to be a set of fans at any club that believe it's their job to just flat out support no matter what. And that's their right. I'm not gonna have a pop of people who want to just be supportive. That's up to them. But the rest of us are entitled to have our say as well. And I think there's more people in the angry camp than there is in the give him another season camp. And at this point, I think all that goodwill... Look, I said it months ago, I'll say it again. The longer it goes on, the more tarnished his legacy is going to be. The more animosity there's going to be from Liverpool fans towards him. And he's so lacking in self-awareness that when he comes out with this shit, he doesn't either care or realise that he's just distancing and pushing himself away from the fan base even more. He just doesn't get it. The players are suffering from PTSD and Stockholm Syndrome simultaneously. The best ever match reaction, because it's true, said the Trucker's ear. Look, no doubt, I'll be clipped up, that'll be put out there, and I'll be painted as Johnny Toxic again. But I don't care. I don't care. Because the very people that want to mock me, deep down know I'm right. The very people that will tell me I'm toxic know I'm right. They agree with every damn word I say deep down. But they want to be a top red or a good boy or a good girl, and they won't say it. There's more fans that agree with me than disagree with me at this point. And how could they? How could they like that? How could they accept that? How could they be inspired by that? Keeping up with the Madristas Scouts edition, it's honestly, it's embarrassing. Craig, we need to make a slot petition. We should just all vote with our wallets. That's it. Nothing. Buy nothing. As tempting as it might be, buy fucking nothing. Don't give this club one more penny until they actually act like they care. Because when they're getting grief from Adidas, when the stuff's not selling, when the expensive hospitality seats aren't being bought, maybe they'll listen. So vote with your wallets. Vote with your keyboards. Have your say. Don't spend a penny. They need to understand that this is not acceptable. That we aren't just sheep that are just going to be led through anything and just follow for the sake of it. This football club doesn't accept spoofers. This fan base doesn't accept half-arsed effort. Never will. Never going to change. They know what they're looking at. They're an educated football fan base and they can see garbage every week. CM, so I know this may be controversial, but I think VVD should be sold. It's been worse than Canade, not to mention this leading we're seeing. Boo-hoo, man. So there's reports that say he could be off the Galatasaray. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. But at this point, there is nobody across that backline outside of Kirkes that I actually think is good enough. Canade's been horrendous. Van Dijk's been horrendous. Defending from set pieces has been absolutely pathetic. Right, let me take you through some more comments from... Where's the Simon Brundish one? Where's the Simon Brundish comment? One sec. So Chris Williams, another journalist, said Liverpool's head office may be forced to a 180 on a second decision within a week. Can't see how any coach survives that level of had enough from a crowd. United tried it with Ten Hag. All they did was delay the inevitable and disrupt their next season. Exactly. Exactly, Chris. Spot on. Liverpool look like gobshites again this week, backing down over their raising of ticket prices. And now, as Chris Williams said, they're probably going to have to do another 180 when they realise the fans aren't buying into this with slot and they're not going to sit here and accept it. So he's absolutely spot on. Lewis Steele said, if you want to know the belief levels around Liverpool right now, look at the stairwells in the last 10 minutes at Anfield. Fans do not fancy it and are leaving early. Can you blame them? Another extremely poor afternoon for this team. Spot on. But, you know, Ryan Gravenberch doesn't think they should be booed. Boo-hoo. Red said Craig is VVD leaving as well. Everyone is fed up. Again, I don't know. Maybe. But if they're unhappy in the dressing room and they don't believe in the manager, how are they expected to give the last years of their career to a coach that can't lead, can't coach? You know, it's clearly nuts. Critical said, you do realise most of your average Scouts fans can't afford Liverpool merch to begin with. And that's fair enough, mate. I mean, vote with the keyboards then. Have your say on social media. And by the way, that is a fair conversation that we had as well, dude, about the cost of anything football related these days, whether it be shirts for your kids or whatever. So yeah, certainly I understand where you're coming from on that one, my man. And Not wrong. Maybe they have their say on social media. Maybe they can, have their say outside Anfield. I don't know, but we can all be proactive in getting our points across. Levi Colwill, an actual child who's been injured all season and starts for Chelsea side with no confidence and plays better than any of our senior players on that pitch. Absolutely horrendous. Knowing how the standards have collapsed, looking back the early season and then making excuses around Diogo Jota is even more disgusting. New captain needed. They're looking for easy get-outs. And I've said this before, when the manager is in press conferences giving the world excuses and denying reality, of course the players are going to pick up on that. And we've said it for months now. The manager's given the players ready-made excuses in his press conferences. And shock horror, now they're starting to take up them excuses and actually feel sorry for themselves. It's truly pathetic. Manager poster guys added slot after a year are frauds, said ESG Soccer. Aitlin, thank you. Appreciate you. I'm a United fan. I'm happy you're keeping slot, and that should tell you everything you need to know. I get it, mate. If I was in your shoes, Steve, I'd want United to keep the failing manager as well. And you're right, mate. It does. It tells me what I need to know, but you're not wrong. He's not good enough. It's passion, not toxicity. Never change, my man. Thank you, Ian. That's what it is for me anyway. That's certainly what it's intended as. Another year of slot means if it meant Enrique. Enrique signed in a 4-year deal with PSG. It's already agreed. It'll be signed at the end of the season. So, and look, could you blame him staying there? He's got a team that's, fighting on all fronts and playing really good football, about to get to another Champions League. Well, they're in another Champions League final, about to win the French division again. So, yeah, he's well settled and has a young, hungry team. Rook, said, sorry I'm late, had a step away after full time. I'm actually hate this man at this point. Get him gone. I'd honestly rather we had Gerrard for 10 years. I have no goodwill left towards Arne. None at all. And I hate that it's getting angrier and it's getting worse every week. But it's like it's been rubbed in our faces every week at this point. Kirkheads was awful today. Never gave Rio an option up the wing and couldn't swing the ball in. Are they been told not to? I don't know, guys, because if you look at some of the aimless crossing we're putting in anyway, it feels like he wants them to cross from the half spaces more, but those crosses are just being intercepted by Chelsea centre-backs as we're just swinging them in aimlessly. Raekwon said, this can't continue. I wonder how the journals will spin the crowd's frustration in the first half and the booing in the second. Well, to be fair to a lot of them, Raekwon, David Lynch included, they're saying it's not good enough. So I'm grateful for that. And Chris Williams saying the same, because they can't deny it anymore. Like they know what they're looking at. Matt Thielen said, I'll always support Liverpool, but I've never felt more disconnected from the club than I do right now, simply because of the manager. Results aren't everything, but Slot shows no signs of improving the club or his relationship with the supporters. Enough is enough. And what Matt has said there echoes the sentiments of so many Reds, myself included. He just can't connect with us. He just can't at this point. He just can't. That connection can't be faked and it isn't there. So Simon Brundish said, Chelsea cover the fewest kilometres per game in the Premier League and today they outran Liverpool. Let that sit. Simon Brundish, who's a sports scientist, said Chelsea cover the fewest kilometres per game in the Premier League and today they outran Liverpool. A manager lists Chelsea in freefall. Outran us. And Ryan Gravenberch doesn't think they should be booed. Just grow a pair, Ryan. Honestly, just grow a pair, mate. Right, I'm going to go record the player ratings, ladies and gents. I will be back tonight at 8 o'clock for a late night agenda. If you haven't submitted your player ratings, you can still do so by joining the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. You'll see the link in there. Scan that QR code on the screen. That will bring you in. The WhatsApp's heading towards 20,000 members, so thank you to everyone that has joined up. We'd love you to become a part of it, so do subscribe there by scanning that QR code. And right, ladies and gents, I'll see you later on for a late night agenda. Don't insult Ryan. Fuck Ryan. He insulted us. Fuck him. And if you don't like it, you know where the door is. Going in crying about being booed. He should be insulted at the performances they're dishing up. So yeah, if he can't take it, I don't care. It's not good enough. Talk to you soon.